A leading with 4 points. We also actually by is it 3 or 4 points?
3 points.
3 points. Into one of the lose na Napoli kwasha. Akwa 6. But yes, still if Barcelona even lose his crown, he will still have a point in hand. And Barca right now only league in there is in their own hands to lose it. That is the decider. That is the final El Clasico match. Remember in this season. In the situation on list of delicate kakra, but the thing is I was say all hands on deck because umawani ekodi ba ko echi a you might end up losing the 2-all. You who the Arsenal Arsenal need the league na echi Champions League match kwa de nkra kakobo afiri mu year for kra de nkra kakobo right now league na need the echi na say na near it is a league no the Arsenal start lose no is the need the Champions League na echi weekend what beko Arsenal win here because I don't know who said in the last games only just 2 wins he will still be part of the top 5 but the Champions League is something that is unthinkable, something that is going to be a history in the Arsenal history into beko Arsenal so the one report good or the academy boys they have with some few players because already or training with injuries. Gabriel Pratt Uncle Koriski Saliba money some key players being with the team, especially with Thomas Partey. Almost say Partey integral part of the team. Uncle Koriski Partey. Okay. Obi Zerice.
I'm on one ever Bournemouth.
Yes.
See Bournemouth to score.
Possible. Okay. So the last week, they more mona a fire. But list to one started with. And the game never cost no. Wolves in Manchester City. List to
is it a big game?
Meet magazine, especially in the Premier League. Maybe a man for Adrian Yambaso. It's a very big game. But my young Rasa game in Mona me from. You see, listen, this season, City has struggled here, pa. I don't know, sir. I don't know if you believe that City ain't me winning 4 games. Unyang winning 5 games into us this season in the Premier League.
Okay.
After the first 4 games or winning to us, listen, City bought it me a 4-win game at us biana. That patch, you know, Okoko say no later on. Into winning 4 to us. You have to know say the next game, the best possible outcome for Manchester City, a draw. In the Ucheki City, proud to the season after winning against Chelsea in the Premier League. And they lose to Manchester or lose to Arsenal, able lose to Newcastle, or winning 4 to us. The next one, lose, especially in the Premier League this season. And aside that, see my friend the Wolves so they are also doing something incredible. Man for junior moms list all who check you Wolves are in the last 6 games we're winning now, and the joint highest unbeat winning streak this season. Joint winning streak. Say team they are winning 6 games in Atlas. Both women are winning in Atlas. 6 games. This is Wolves at least we do we know our relegation, but right now our 13th position ahead of Manchester United, ahead of Tottenham Hotspur, and ahead of Everton. And right now, checking Manchester City here. Obaka say in recent times, our pick your form back. Almost check here in over almost by 8 games they are unbeaten. But in fact, almost me winning 4 games and also on the road this season. Almost winning no almost winning 4 to also. The next game is either they are going to lose and I said they are going to draw. That has been the consistency. They whoever wins and then is a correct Wolves and they win about 7 games. It means that almost a 7 winning streak for the first time in over 80 years. Same as Manchester City for the first time almost winning 5 games at Twaso. For the first time this season. But don't check it these 2 teams are Manchester City, list to all. Wolves they have a very bad record against Manchester City. In fact, in their last 8 games Man City are winning 8 and it's going to be very difficult. But in fact, with the current form City war and the current form Wolves war, it makes the game even more difficult because both teams list to all appear to me winning this game. And it's a game very hard to predict. Because by predicting City to win, at the end of the day, if Wolves are winning now, who checking the books, who checking the starter, you will know that oh no. And in some point, Wolves are also capable of winning this game, especially in this game. List all I think that the safest option for the past 3 games between these two teams, there's a both teams to score. Able to be very last 3 games in 2023, Wolves go home or Manchester City 2-1. City Equatorial share 5-1, and then they City this season Equatorial Wolves share no home 2-1. Both teams to score in their last 3 games, and in fact, we check here last 6 games resulting over 2.5 goals. And let's look at both teams last games so far. My ball. In fact, City last 4 games at least were winning now. 2 resulting over 1.5, and the other 2 resulting over 2.5. Yen check Wolves. In the last 6 games were winning none. The 6 games that were winning, 2 was under 1.5, and apart from that games are under 1.5. All the games in now resulting in over 2.5 goals. Then Wolves to score highly possible, and handicap for any of the teams. Then also no man handicap. No man handicap and corners. Because of how both teams are attacking, you should expect a lot of corners this game. And anyway, there will be a lot of games at least to Obekoso, especially in the Serie A. And anyway, and one game I was a man for Adrian Koso, Torino, and Venezia game. I mean Torino, ni be in that morning, but Venezia, the 2 teams somewhere who pay team at least to here point in here pa. Venezia, because all 25 points, and 2 teams are team order than Impe Lecce 27 points. If they are able to win this game, it means that they will escape the relegation battle. And then aside from that, Parma also 32 points. If they win this game, Omenya 28, just few points behind Parma. And this is Parma list all Nyame Aduma this weekend. Oni Como Kwakobo and Como so BBN Naboni. Because come where he is or the safe zone, and then Venezia game if Venezia share Torino, people shouldn't be surprised. And Venezia to score because they are down, they need a win. They will try as much as possible to attack every possible ways and means to score. So Venezia to double chance Venezia to score in this game. So highly possible. But weekend game anymore now. For few games in Bra, especially in the Premier League. Arsenal Bournemouth. A gamer investors should be aware of. In fact, Bournemouth for no, they are on a team at least a very fine form, but in over almost 7 games or 8 games on board, I'm winning just 1, and that win was against Fulham. All the games on board in an air draw or they are losing, and the teams on losing was against Ipswich, Manchester City, and Brentford. But here is the case: Arsenal were a crucial Champions League game. Right now, they know that the league is out of reach. The only trophy they can possibly win this season, so one person called trophyless the Champions League. And I don't think that Mikel Arteta, with the kind of injury crisis from this season, he will risk playing some of the key players I want to tell him. I'll meet him pick a knock in this game because of how Bournemouth go back. So Arteta will definitely protect some of the players. In this game, the best possible option to go for Bournemouth to score, Bournemouth handicap, and corners in this game. And they list all in the French league, PSG in Strasbourg bebo game way means Strasbourg is going to win this game. PSG Dembele on the report about say when you have some thigh injury and reports about say favorable he's going to play next weekend or midweek against Arsenal. So they are not going to risk him at all. Especially some players they are not going to be say Marquinhos or maybe rest na Maberado or Bobby. Some of the key players they will rest them and you see baby at Strasbourg than list all they were in the top 4. Even a win or even a point crampono takes them to the top 4. In this game they are going to play they are playing at home, especially Uchake Strasbourg. They are having a fantastic form. In fact, almost 10 games they are unbeaten. In their last 10 games, they are unbeaten. Omanya dia crampono a draw. And Omar dropping some huge points there affect someone getting into the top 4 or the top 3 currently. But against PSG, they have a very fine record against PSG, especially whenever they are playing at home. PSG Besho Mokrana and just in their last 5 games against PSG, they haven't recorded a win, but a draw. Draw Abamu 3 times and PSG are winning 2 times. The last one on boy was very close. PSG are winning 2-1. A double chance for Strasbourg and very high. Strasbourg to score and over 1.5 goals over this game. So yeah, this all highly possible. Now in the Bundesliga, Bayern Munich were free a year Champions League. but he's going to play against Leipzig. Leipzig is fighting for the top 4 spots, and then if Leipzig episode on win against Bayern Munich, he needs to score. And Obo home, Leipzig over 0.5, highly possible, and the handicap for Leipzig, and so Adia a bit miabua. And then Borussia Dortmund, Wolfsburg. Maybe a Wolfsburg dano or the year pa relegation and van home. This is Borussia Dortmund. He's fighting for a European spot this season, and I encourage you say Dortmund is going to score Wolfsburg. We should expect over 1.5 goals. Game no more. And it's also in the entire Serie A. Inter Verona. That game is very tricky. We don't know the kind of players coach and Eddie Inzaghi be free. And ahead of a round joint league high of 14 of Inter games about this season, list if you check over 3.5 goals, a joint league high in the Serie A this season. And then Marcus Thuram, if he's going to play, is a player to watch. But Verona, list maybe more down 32 points. If they're able to even salvage a pointer, or more that year, no, maybe more than they are not safe. With Parma and Lecce, they are not safe at all. These two teams, Obi here point, no. Every team needs the point. In the both teams to score over 1.5, Verona to score, Inter to score, and so a highly possible this game. Napoli Lecce, another crucial encounter. Napoli wants to win the league. Lecce wants to avoid relegation. Right now, double chance for Napoli, over 1.5 goals in this game. And finally, the La Liga no. Atletico Madrid and Alaves. Listen, this game I hear Atletico be sunam. As a Calmo team, I don't trust them. What they are, more than ye. And right now, with the waiter, Atletico Bilbao, so listen, what they can lose with the huge numbers to Manchester United. No, it looks unlikely so meet Miyaji the Europa League. So they will fight for top spots, and especially Alaves 34 points, just 2 points ahead of Las Palmas, occupy the last relegation zone slot. No, I think that a double chance, Alaves handicap maybe of 2, highly possible for that game, and Alaves also to score in this game highly possible. Barcelona, Real Valladolid. Right now, they know that the Champions League is not a done deal. If they had gone 3 goals, 4 goals ahead of Inter Milan, they will know say a done deal. But they can't risk losing the La Liga and the Champions League at the same time. So I don't think say Obe risking the players, no. And Obe resting some of the players. But the thing is, there will be a little advice in 50-50 games they won't go. Some of the 50-50 games were but maybe he might rest some key players. The games are or resting Lamia or bench. He trusts that Ferran Torres, any other than other players can get the job done. So if you're not in the first half, they're not getting the job done. Then we bring in the magicians to come and win the game at last. So I think that game with 1.5 goals, Barcelona double chance, and so a highly possible because even if they drop a point, no matter the they still have a chance of meeting me a coming. So these are the few games I will make sure.
Right. Okay, least to ensure weekend games are so I think Manchester City ever started with the title or the top 4 race next who team winning. So Wolves are maybe count has said so top 5 European leagues they are one of the most exciting teams and the most current team are on more form Their games against Manchester City a game sometimes it's very difficult for teams to friend Wolves. In their last meeting Man City ate me a share home 5-1 and also in their last league meeting in the first round Man City 2-1. This fixture senior Vincent Boss the go Taiba. But I'm seeing this fixture being a very tricky fixture, especially on a Friday. Mostly Friday any 11:30 games very difficult my big teams It is one fixture so be kwa no ahwe ne ho ye. Likely both teams to score the bet me abo. Kunya bet me go ama your friend is saying Wolves Manchester City for so bet me go over 2.5 option in so likely say bet me abo game we but I'm seeing Man City winning. It's either City win or draw. But open the safest option. I think both teams to score over 2.5 over 1.5. Or I'll bet me afa and I'll bet me a picky on this fixture. Where we can my teams need be they have Champions League behind them and they need to do something and make sure say so mutimi avoid the defeat and also make sure say my dreams and what the Champions League so Aston Villa on Fulham 11:30. So bet me we are that top 5 race it starts from 11:30 game of the ball against Fulham. And one thing about Villa they say fie no form na no edin. in their last 5 games they've not lost, and the last time a Fulham share Aston Villa home Aston Villa home was in 2018. Our share 1-0, and we form a Fulham nso kuta na saying, especially in away form no enyama nko yi on also last 5 away we win one pair, and it was against Southampton and him saying omo break last minute and so no mutim ba be share goal. So it will be a game Villa will be happy to play against a team they are not on a good form like that. And Unai Emery in the last 6 meetings I will share team a friend Fulham ni na end in a go. In fairness will be come MYBET.AFRICA on this fixture 1.5 both team to score. One of the likeliest option I'll be to me afa ewo. Arsenal any Bournemouth, Arsenal home. Arsenal could have fine record over the Emirates Stadium. Omu league na omu time lose wo, and it will be one game they would have one eye on this game and also one eye on the Champions League. Adinti America said the Champions League they are traveling to France with a 1-0 defeated home. Intene Arteta Bernardin said every player will be here to be a key point in that particular game of France no better still. So this will be a game I will see the likes of Raheem Sterling and also some of the players are bench warmers or a lot of game time in the season beats me about Bournemouth. This is one fixture if they want to get into that Conference League spot they are dreaming of at the start of the season. This is something that they need to do. Initially they've set a lot of record. This is their best season under any manager, and also so to mean that European sport now, meaning say they would ice it with one of the best records at least with me where your friend is a Conference League or Europa League sport. So this would be a good game for them, especially with Arsenal in Ibako ewo that Champions League. In the first league in himself Bournemouth it will fear Arsenal sharing 2-0. So they do the double over Arsenal? That would be the question of Biabisa. But I think this match is a likely 1.5 and also a handicap of 2. Emma team my friend Bournemouth. So Arsenal Bernard will be winning game we cry. It wouldn't be a high score line. It would be like a 2-1 or a 1-0 win for Arsenal. And with a handicap of 2 or a 1.5 for Bournemouth, and also corners, Beba game you muye panty. So be share corners this is one game where so team share corners. The other Premier League games are Chelsea, Liverpool, Tottenham, West Ham. These are 2 games. I think Tottenham and West Ham there. It will be a game the battle for why they beat me upper Nyonko in the lower side of the league table. Graham Potter pressure than in their last game press conference. Graham Potter pioneer him say he's one coach and he's calm. Enyama fan man 88 meaning say oba things were going on well but sisiano enyama jegwa. Now the West Ham fans ashe the way are no more in Kenya that 3 teams almost free championship by almost ankwa nka West Ham anya like with the spendings almost this season nka almost betimi akọ relegation to be one difficult game. Tottenham game ni here almost because they've been able to secure that big win against him, my friend Bodo Glimt. That away fixture a difficult fixture. Bodo Glimt on the home hard to beat me akwa share.
Tottenham no one able
on West Ham. Inti oko Bodo Glimt it's a very difficult game. Enye mo ase Tottenham could dia grow Bodo Glimt beat me at to go see na mom watch yo. Their pitch and their park is a different type of remember it's a different type of texture even on the grass compared to the ones away European. Tina me can say Tottenham needs to win heavily. That's the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and mutimi here. So against West Ham, Obere still a lot of players. So it will go in the hands of Graham Potter. So he needs to win that game to make the home fans happy. Chelsea and Liverpool, bookmakers Bibiaba Chelsea to win. Osha it's likely that Chelsea be winning. They would give Liverpool that guard of honor. I bet me Aboa to announce Liverpool as the winners of this season's Premier League. But I think game ni here Chelsea. And until who say in drag game on boy and Enzo Maresca brought in Nicolas Jackson Kopama. So bet me a lot of goals. Senior Liverpool game bet me akwa aboni because that second leg game on the ball Stamford Bridge against Jagaden ehun hia because after that game Newcastle ball when men really comfortable.
That is why all the
players buy because that second league game then you say be a lot of new players coming in academy for
especially in the second half.
Yes, academy for Mbappe because that Newcastle game So Newcastle game near important to his Champions League qualification. It's against Liverpool. Chelsea may win this game at home. They have a fine home record against in the Premier League, they have a very fine home record. This game will bring a lot of goals because Liverpool bear James on Beshe. Defensively, they will be solid. So we'll see a lot of goals. Both teams to score are likely to happen over 2.5. Send you see in the first round, they bet me. So I'm seeing a 2-1 win for Chelsea in this game. Yenche Germany, Yenimse Bayern, Ebeje ne trophy this weekend. Quite biaso Obeji because Leverkusen for my mom that pressure eso multimedia. Into their game against RB Leipzig. It will be one game and they will go into the game more relaxed and more confident. We say Hurricane into me about this game. Obe me say this game, but RB Leipzig can so here at that point here papa. And no na fixture way more difficult. Because one waje league ba kwaje league na wie hwe mfa ne ho ni Champions League bia bo ni hwe bo ba kunzu hia point ni ye to get that Champions League spot in this fixture metu ahwefo na for say o fixture we ahwe ho ye. It's better to go for both teams to score and over 2.5 over 1.5 than trying to pick Bayern Munich to win in this game because Bayern Munich has nothing to lose and RB Leipzig have everything to win in this game. The next game maybe Dortmund Tisiano going out of the Champions League, they are also missing out also on the Champions League next season. Position or that yet, or that the seat position, the Champions League spot in the air just 3 points ahead of them. What can they do? Siano, Freiburg never bear me and say we are friends saying well about a team we weren't expecting them to enter into that Champions League spot to make me room. Until now it's between Dortmund and RB Leipzig. Why the bet me a good run of games?
Now RB Leipzig meet
Bayern Munich.
Bayern winning that fixture just Waje League no. And now
Ebabe ha RB Leipzig because the Bayern win here. Not Dortmund is win here. Meaning so we drop it out of any European competition because Mainz 04 Enzo Taliomechi into the Bundesliga no monzo na ba better the Premier League no. Through only the only decide here but I see her for the Champions League spot. Omo de nyame ambo omo just 2 slot aka. And with that 2 slots, no, teams 4 in April. So meaning say about very difficult. But the traditional clubs say every time they get into the Champions League, they Dortmund and RB Leipzig. And they need to show up, say yes. The last 3 games they need to show, say yes, they would come in and play and qualify. Into Dortmund, and so their game against Uzbek, there will be a lot of goals. A lot of goals it will lead into say a 2.5 will likely play Dortmund to win and so Inter Milan. Sisi our yam on one season a very difficult amano. That 2 defeat to Timinya and the Champions League 3-3 amama in the league are difficult. Against Verona so a team bia or hardwin. So only big teams nearby or home hardwin papa. So it's one thing at Inter Milan, they are in 2 minds. Team Ben ye de against Verona. Team Ben ye be rest against Barcelona. But in himself say can Italy a team okuta a good bench and a good squad depth Inter Milan. By himself injury back into this game, I wouldn't be surprised seeing the likes of Anatovic starting, getting the nod ahead of Thuram to try and see say they can secure that 3 points and hope say Napoli and Suni Torino, which Torino has been one of the difficult customers in this Serie A. No. Napoli bet me 80 lose against them. So no so bet me amasse that 3 points no bet me Napoli are play the title race. And I think their title race there this weekend I bet you. So when me and pick that 3 points they are out. Napoli will surely win the Scudetto. Then on Tuesday, what can they do against my friend Barcelona? And so there Spanish La Liga, Barcelona has nothing to lose. Even a draw with them will secure that league spot or more share. Even though it's a Real Madrid any Celta de Vigo and a Bebo. But one thing Ebake Barcelona, especially going to Italy, they need to rest a lot of players. The way Inter Milan ebani on boy, some will argue say their Copa del Rey final played a role in also the Champions League game on boy. But Inter Milan equally had a game on also on Sunday. In TNA, both teams has to rest a lot of players and make that Champions League second leg on Bebo on Tuesday, and a good game for their fans. And also both teams they say they can get into that Champions League final. Obiashe say they want to see Inter Milan get into that final again and win. Barcelona also mama see final na che pa. The last time they were equally getting into the final at Dortmund at the year. So now they are looking at getting into that final. So both teams have a difficult game this weekend. I think fixtures to avoid Inter Milan game ɛsɛ nkɔfɔ hwɛ ɔmo yie ɛwɔ hɔ. Arsenal game ɛsɛ nkɔfɔ hwɛ ɔmo yie ɛnso ɛwɔ hɔ. The likes of Barcelona ɛsɛ nkɔfɔ hwɛ ɔmo yie ɛwɔ hɔ. Paris Saint-Germain na the only thing keeping them in the league no ɛyɛ the unbeaten runner last week and ɔmo lose yɛn now they have nothing to lose against Strasbourg bɛyɛ ɔmo adwene say they need to get that Champions League spot nti ɔmo bɛbɔ ball sin with Paris Saint-Germain. So these are 4 games any Bayern Munich as the fit team, these are games avoid going straight wins or win or draws for this club going into the weekend.